Hello, it's Sadie. I've been wanting to do this video all day and it's the first day of school, so everything's been a little bit chaotic for me, but I really just felt so called to take 20-30 minutes to put this energy reading out there because the energy this week and next week, so this is going to be around 10 days, okay, is so intense, and it can really be a very kind of confusing energy and confusing time. And so I wanted to do this weekly energy reading to kind of to explain what's going on. All right, I'm going to briefly talk about the astrology. I'm not going to get into all of the astrology because there's just too much, but it's like nonstop getting hit after hit over the next like week to 9 days. Okay, so I'm filming this, it is Monday the 12th. On the 14th there is actually a nicer energy of Mars and Jupiter conjunct in Gemini. Conjunct means they're on top of each other, they're like in the same degree or within 1 or 2 degrees of each other, and so their energies sort of commingle and work together. But this is happening at a time when Mercury, the ruling planet of Gemini, is in retrograde. And it's retrograding back into the sign of Leo. On the 15th, Mars in Gemini is going to start squaring Saturn in Pisces. This is a heavier energy, okay? Especially because you have Mars, which is the planet of war, the planet of action, and Saturn, which is the taskmaster and the planet of karma, sort of squaring each other's energy. So that's going to be very challenging. On the 18th, you have Mercury and Leo squaring Uranus and Taurus. This one is another one that's a little bit challenging because it's a wild card energy. Uranus represents like rebellion, shocking change, sudden change. It's very much like a tower energy. And then when you have Mercury, which is in the sign of Leo, and it's in retrograde, that energy can be very chaotic. Also on the same day, on the 18th, Venus in Virgo is going to square Jupiter in Gemini. And then on the 19th is like one of the hardest days as far as like the energy and how intense the astrology is. But on the 19th, you have Jupiter in Gemini squaring Saturn in Pisces. Then Venus in Virgo opposing Saturn in Pisces. We also have the full moon in Aquarius on the 19th. And then the sun and Leo squaring Uranus and Taurus. So it's a lot of astrology, but energetically, I want to kind of give examples of what this is going to look like. One good example of what this is going to look like is the energy of rescission. What I mean by that is Jordan, she was one of the Olympic gymnasts for the United States. She won the bronze. They messed up judging her and put an incorrect score, and then they re-added and recalculated the correct score, which took her back to the bronze, and now they're rescinding the bronze medal. They're saying she has to give the bronze medal back. That's a great example of the energy that we're in with the Mercury retrograde and everything else that is taking place. And so this is a time where you could get an offer and it gets rescinded. You could, reconnect with someone because it's Mercury retrograde. So a lot of times it's people coming back from the past, and then you just get suddenly ghosted. You could be approved for something and then they come back and say, sorry, we crunched the numbers wrong. And so it's really a time where take everything with a grain of salt. Okay. Everything that you see, everything that you hear, just know that the energy is so changeable that things could change in an instant. Okay. And so this is not a good time to make long-term plans for anything. I'll kind of give you some examples. Like, say you get approved for a new place. Wait 2 weeks before, if you're selling a house, don't sell the house immediately. If you are renting and you have to say something to your landlord, wait that 2 weeks to 10 days until we get to Virgo season, because even though we'll still be in Mercury retrograde, it'll be towards the end and things will be more stable, okay? Because it's earth energy. Like, don't say anything, because the place that you could be moving into could change, and then now you're sort of like left up, what's that expression? It's creek. I'm not going to say the S, but you know what I mean? Same thing with jobs. Like, you could get an amazing job offer. Wait before you give your 2 weeks. Wait before you jump into the new thing. Like, it's just a time of like really waiting. Don't rush into anything right now. You will be happy that you waited. You will be happy that when the dust settles, if everything is still what it claims to be, what it seems to be, then you'll know that it's for you. The other aspect of this energy is, because there's a lot of energy with Venus and Leo and Mars and squares and Saturn, there could be a lot of very challenging relationship issues that come up in love relationships, in partner relationships, in work relationships, like just blowouts, arguments. Again, this is a time. Think before you speak and listen before you respond. Very, very, very important during the next week to 10 days. Okay. People are very triggered. People are very reactive with all the Mars energy squaring. People, like I said, I did that channeled message this weekend where I said I got triggered. The energy is very triggering. And if you can just kind of like take a breath, wait, slow down, not be quick to jump, especially if you are angry, especially if you are more emotionally charged. Just breathe. Let people speak, let people yell, let people emote, let people project, and you stay calm and hold your center. It's going to help you navigate this energy in a much better way, because there's a lot of energy, and I've been picking this up for a while, of like death, endings, severing, sacred severing. You know, some things are going to end, that things that need to end will end. It could end during this next week to 2 weeks. But on top of that, this is an energy that we're currently in that's very, it's very incendiary. It's very like explosive. And you could kind of like start something you don't want to actually get into, or like something gets started that you can't finish type energy right now. And so just really, really important to breathe, listen. Sometimes there is no response. You know, there's certain people that they're so caught into their belief systems. They're so caught into the idea that they're right and you're wrong, that nothing you do matters. And so with those people, just walk away or agree with them. This is not the time to like get into an argument, okay? But arguments could come up, okay? So just giving you that heads up. The other thing about this energy too is that it's very confusing. Nothing is quite as it seems. Things may seem a lot worse than they actually are, but vice versa, things could seem a lot better than they actually are. And so it's so important right now, because they were showing me the Ace of Swords upright and then reverse, upright and then reverse. So it's like that sword right now is a double-edged sword. And so you have to be very, very mindful and aware of what you are saying, but understand that people are going to hear what they want to hear regardless, and they're going to believe what they want to believe regardless. And so you just be as clear as possible for you. You are not responsible for anybody else's reaction. You are not responsible for anybody else's belief system. You are not responsible for how someone takes what you say and just twist it around. But the gaslighting right now is real. So just understand that the energy is very changeable and things can get twisted very easily. So if you can put it in writing, put it in writing. Okay. But that doesn't mean like drunk text someone or drunk DM someone. you know, keep it short and sweet, and be as clear as you can be in your communication right now without, you know, being accusatory, without pointing fingers, without even, this is okay. So this is a time, and I'm getting jumbled with my words too. So you could be jumbled with your words. You could feel very scattered brain, and that's just the energy right now. So much is shifting, so much is changing, so many timelines are moving, and it's literally whiplash, and you just kind of have to hold your center all in between it all, right? But what I was gonna say is that because of the Saturn and Pisces energy right now, there could be a lot of really deep conversations and heartfelt conversations that come through. You know, those like make it or break it conversations in jobs and love and other connections and family connections and friendships, etc. But if you can avoid having that deep conversation right now, it's just not the best energetic time, because again, everybody's only going to see from their point of view. And as confusing as the energy is, there's also this kind of like lack of empathy or lack of giving an F energy in the air too. And so if you can avoid that deep heartfelt conversation right now, I would wait like 2 weeks or just like simply say, if someone's trying to communicate with you, simply say, I'm not in a good space right now to have this conversation. But I promise, you know, give me time, and then we can address this situation or address this issue, or, you know, we can talk about this or talk it through. But this is a good time to kind of avoid those really heavy conversations, because there's just, you know, hurt people hurt others, and there is a lot of potential for causing more damage than good with words right now. Okay. The other thing about this energy, and this is why I wanted to come on and do this reading, okay? As my guides always say, to be forewarned is to be forearmed, okay? because Mercury is in retrograde and because there are so many squares and so many oppositions and so much challenging energy in the air, this is not a good time to travel, especially by boat or plane, okay? There was unfortunately that plane crash in Brazil. Rest in love to all the souls who were lost, and prayers and love to the families of those who are impacted. But that may not be the only incident that takes place, especially for planes. I had a dream last night with a Delta plane. Okay, so this is not telling you absolutely no travel, especially if like you already have a booked trip or you travel a lot for work. But what I am saying is trust your intuition and use your discernment, and understand that rejection is God's protection. I'll give you an example of this. See, things are breaking down, falling down. A lot of the people, I was hearing stories of that, unfortunately, that flight in Brazil. And a lot of people were saying they were sent to the wrong gate initially. And then when they went to the right gate, they were not allowed to board. But those people are still alive today. And so what I want you to really do is just, if your gut is telling you, don't board a plane, don't get behind the wheel, don't go out that night, don't go see that person, just listen to it, okay? And the other part of that is rejection is God's protection. Like, they were sent to the wrong gate, but that wrong gate saved their life, okay? So understand that if something gets delayed, if it gets canceled, if it doesn't work out the way you hoped, rejection is God's protection right now, 1000%. You are being redirected out of something that would potentially harm you, or something that you couldn't come back from. So the other thing too, because of the Mercury energy, Mercury is very mercurial, it's very trickster energy. This is a time where you want to be vigilant when it comes to like theft, identity protection, your online shopping. Like, just be careful. Just protect yourself more now. Just, watch your surroundings when you're at the store, especially if you're single and you're by yourself. If you are younger and you go out and you go to clubs and you participate and socialize with friends, make sure you're with a group of people that you really love, that you really trust, and that are going to watch out for you. Protect your drinks, protect your food. And this goes for men and women, okay? I know we live in a society where we mostly think predators only look at women, but it's happening to more young men too. And so protect your energy, protect yourself. Be around people that you trust. Like, this is such a time of like your discernment and your intuition are your superpowers. And if you know that like that person that you work with doesn't actually really like you, but you guys go out and you have fun, but they're not really your friend, I would avoid that type of energy right now, because that's the one that could get you hurt, or that's the one that could get you set up, okay? The other thing, and I'll go back to travel, just be very mindful on the roads. With technology, there's gonna be more mishaps. And so go slower. This happened to me the other day. It was raining, and my guide specifically said, like, and I was on the highway. So the highway, like the speed limit on the highway is like 70 or 80 miles per hour. But because it was raining, they were like, go, and it wasn't a densely, there wasn't a lot of busy traffic. It was on a weekend and it was in the morning. They said, go very slowly. So I was going like 40, 45. And there was enough space and enough distance between me and the person who was in front of me, but the person next to the person that was in front of me, okay, there was a truck in front of me, and then there was a truck with a back cab next to them in the lane next to them. They were both speeding, and the truck in the second lane with the back cab tires blew out and hit that other truck and completely tore off the front end. And you know, I had enough time because I was going so slowly, because he like was slamming on his brakes but sort of hydroplaning because it was wet. But again, I had enough time because I was going slowly to like really slow down, pull over, like be fine. And, you know, I avoided something that could have been catastrophic for me, but also for everybody else involved. So again, be extra careful, extra mindful over the next 10 days. Driving with technology, going out, socializing. If you are traveling, use your discernment. If you get any anxiety at all, if you just don't feel right about it, don't do it, okay? Yes, it's a missed flight, but it's not worth your life, okay? So the other thing, last thing, I know I've been talking for a long time, but last thing is you're seeing the earth. You're seeing the earthquakes. I know California had one today. I think Japan had one, a big one. There's going to be more seismic activity with the astrology. There's going to be more earthquakes. There could be tornadoes. There could be really, really intense weather events. And so just always important to have like extra supplies on hand, extra food, extra water, non-perishables. Have what you and your family or you and your pets need. If the power goes out for a couple days, if, you know, just make sure you have what you need during this time too, because the weather is going to be very intense during this time. And also be careful with the food. A lot of people are getting sick, different bacteria infections, salmonella, all different types of things. And so just really, this is a time where it's like extra protection, extra prayers, extra caution, extra vigilance. You know, again, it's not to scare anybody, but the energy is the energy. And we all have the tools to navigate this energy in the best possible ways with the most ease and grace that we can. And so we have to utilize those tools. Utilize your spiritual tools. Hold your center. Trust your instincts. Okay? If anything doesn't feel right, start praying immediately. Ask for guidance. Ask for a sign. Also, though, because of the energy of rescission, don't take anything personally at this time either. It's just so changeable that it is very confusing, and this time could bring in a lot of feelings of defeat and depression and feeling like you're working so hard and you're not getting anywhere. You've worked so hard and long and nothing's happening. Again, don't believe what you see. Appearances are not what they seem at this time. But just really, really trust yourself, trust your instincts, and use your discernment. It's very important. Okay, so a lot of talking. Just going to do some quick tarot. What does everybody need to know, Spirit? All right, because there's a lot that we all need to know. There's a lot that we all can do to help ourselves and do to kind of be in a more peaceful space, even through the chaos. Okay, I have the Page of Wands flying out, but it was kind of flying out sideways. So again, this is that energy of like, this is my good news card. But when it's sideways, it's kind of like things could go either way. All right. It could be good news. It could be bad news. It could equally be a blessing in disguise, like something not working out, but something better coming in its place. We have the Six of Swords. Moving on to calmer waters though, and that's what you just need to focus on. This is a time to prioritize your peace, even if things didn't work out. Because to me, this Six of Swords is kind of like a somber energy. Even if things didn't work out the way you wanted to, trust and believe that relief is coming for you, okay? And there's the Page of Cups. So lightheartedness, creativity. For some, this could be an energy of love and romance and playfulness. Ooh, that brings in the Ten of Pentacles. So wealth, abundance, achieving your dreams and goals. And that is the thing I didn't mention, is that Jupiter is a benefic planet, and so it expands everything. So this time could be very lucky. It also is a time where, as chaotic and crazy as everything is, it's like a time where you could win the lottery, or you could get some sort of huge jackpot, or a lot of unexpected wealth, or a big windfall that you weren't anticipating. And so just be open to the unexpected good as well, okay? King of Swords, logic, thought. This is a time to really like think things through, okay? Think everything through. Think before you act. Envision what you want to see, because our mind and our thoughts are very powerful at this time. But also, sometimes it's good to ponder and contemplate and reflect before taking action. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting from this card, and that's a good use of the energy right now too, is just to kind of like take a step back, reflect. Okay, is this what I want? Is this working? Weighing pros and cons, looking at things from all angles, okay? Two of Pentacles, making choices, or even having to juggle a lot at this time. This energy is so confusing because it's very fast paced, but it's almost like that energy of busy work. Like things are fast paced. I'm constantly busy, but I'm not really getting much done, or I'm not really getting much accomplished. If you're feeling that way, that's the energy. So it's not you. That's just where we're at right now. But, you know, with Two of Pentacles want you to balance. And so anywhere that you can find balance in your choices, in your finances, in your decision making, this is a good time to bring more balance into your material world, okay? Balance your finances, budget your finances, because that will bring you stability with the Four of Pentacles, okay? Again, it's a hard time, but it's not a terrible time. It's just very intense, and the energy is very confusing. We do have the Death and Rebirth card. So what, doesn't work out, something better will come in its place, or when one door closes, another one opens. But that rebirth brings in new opportunities, new inspiration. We have the Ace of Wands, so new inspiration, creativity, really powerful new beginnings, with the Page of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles, which is a perfect way to end this reading, which is, even if the energy is like bringing you into something new right now, okay? Do your research, learn as much as you can, weigh all the pros and cons, and do not be quick to jump. Take your time, move slowly, move thoughtfully, move carefully, so that you're creating the most stable and beneficial outcome for you in whatever you're doing in your life at this time, all right? So this too shall pass. It's all gonna be okay. It's all working out. One of my favorite affirmations, this was from Louise Hay, and I remember when I was going through like a very confusing, chaotic time in my life, I heard this affirmation and I started saying it. And so I've been saying it for years, and this is it. All is well. everything is working out for my highest good and the highest good of all involved. Out of this situation, only love is real, and I am safe. Say it, affirm it, use it, because it helps a lot. All right, sending love. Take care.